Georgia loses to the Gators. I can't remember the final score. It was 16 points, whatever it was, after getting up
44-28.
after getting up 14-0. You know, total, for lack of a better term, meltdown from that point forward. They're totally lost on offense. They're going to have to make decisions and changes at quarterback, probably focusing on this coming year. But I don't know if their starting quarterback in the 2021 season is on the roster right now. Just to be frank. Matt, you know, this is a good Florida team. This is probably not a Florida team that beats Alabama, but they can score. And, you know, this is on Kirby. That's just all there is to it. And, you know, he's not a saint. He's going to have to get all of this together. And if he doesn't, this is going to become a thing. I mean, the offense cannot be this bad.
It's already become a thing. We've been hearing it all year about the quarterback position, and it didn't get any better tonight. Obviously, Dwan Mathis is not an option. Stetson Bennett. I mean, who starts next week? I mean, do you throw Stetson back out there?
Well, you want to win games. And
well, he made that clear in his press conference a lot.
Yeah. Post game, you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think to me, 2020 is over. You have a chance. Yeah. I mean, you have a chance to, go and play in the East in for the championship. This division is a good division. It's not unbelievable. It's basically Georgia and Florida, and the Gators didn't back down today when they got punched in the face twice. Georgia doesn't have a quarterback that can win the East at this stage.
No.
So, I mean, that's a fact right now in 2020. So in 2021, if anyone thinks that Kirby Smart is going to stand still, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Because
he's just got to play the guys he has, and it's not a good set of guys, and that goes back to him. But Florida went down 14-0, and they didn't flinch. They didn't flinch at all. It was really early in the game. They kept playing their game, and offensively, they made a lot of plays. I know Georgia looked lost at times, especially on the wheel route where guys were wide open.
They did make a lot of plays now.
Yeah, but, I mean, Tyson Campbell was on Pitts. Pitts went up and made the play on him. I mean, Kyle Trask played really, really well. Yes. Pitts, Trevon Grimes, they all played really, really well.
This was the year.
It all goes back to the quarterback.
I'm just going to come. Listen, I know, and we're going to. I mean, look. You know, Georgia's got to get a quarterback. This is not. You know, this is not. I don't know that this is like a multi-year thing. I've written about this a lot. Florida's not going to not win the East. I mean, they're going to win the East at times, and this is the year that they're going to win the East. Moving forward. You know, does it get better for the Gators? I don't know. I mean, the two guys they're leaning the most on are not going to be here next year. And, you know, that's why you recruit and that's why you get better. You can't look at the quarterbacks were not in the same universe. I mean, Dwan Mathis, if he could just run, it'd be fine. They don't have a quarterback right now. And for all the people who are watching this, the reason why they're starting Stetson Bennett is because he gives them the best chance to win. He had either a separated shoulder or an AC, whatever it was. That gets, you know, that's not helpful, certainly. But they need functional quarterback play, and they're not getting it right now.
And we're not going to see JT Daniels today.
JT Daniels is not. JT Daniels is the number 3 quarterback. Okay.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's it. That's just all there is.
So those questions can go away. I mean, everyone wants to know what's going on, and Kirby said it today.
Yeah.
He said he's not the option. The other two are the best option, and you got to take it for what it is. But man, they've got to figure it out. And I think you're right. The quarterback for next year is not on.
Yeah,
well, they have to figure it out next year.
It's
the quarterback
all
next year is
out.
not on the roster.
Yeah, it's all figured out. It's all figured out. And you know, is it Brock Vandagriff? I hate to be that way. Well, I say it's not on the roster. Maybe it's Carson Beck. I don't know. I mean, I think if you think you have a future with Carson Beck, I think you need to take a very hard look at him playing some downs in these next few games because
I agree.
I mean I've seen him play. He's steady. He probably wouldn't win tonight, but this is not working, and that's it. I mean, I don't have to sugarcoat things. I've done this forever. I've been here before Kirby. I'll be here in theory after Kirby. I mean, there is no. I mean, the people that watch these videos are subscribers. If you're not a subscriber at Dog Puss, you should be one. We owe them what we feel like is the truth as we see it, and we have done that the entire year. But the fact of the matter is, this is the type of game that will have fans pissed off at Kirby. And, he's
Rightfully
not,
so.
and he's not in the honeymoon anymore. I mean, he's got to make it work from here on out. Florida has not been a better program than Georgia, and one win doesn't make you a better program than Georgia. But, the quickest way to not be a better program is to lose to them.
Yeah, this was bad. And if you're a Georgia fan, this is a sour taste in your mouth, and I'm sure everyone is pissed. And again, rightfully so. But this was Florida's Super Bowl. They had to win this game this year without Kyle Trask, without Kyle Pitts next year. Who knows what could happen next year?
Hey, man, I'll tell you right now.
They needed to win it this year, and they went out and they beat Georgia physically. They outcoached them. Florida was obviously the better team, and I think Dan kind of let his foot off the gas at the end. I feel like it could have been a lot worse.
What he did was almost let Georgia get back in that game. I thought that was bad coaching from Dan Mullen in the fourth quarter. I mean, you drop a pick six and then you're down 6 with 8 minutes to go. I mean, that's a totally different ball game right there. I mean, Georgia, the problem was, man, they left so many plays on the field. Yeah. And you can't do that. I mean, like, the sports is not hard. I mean, it is.
Alabama is going to put 50 points on that Florida defense. Yes. Georgia had guys running wide open down the field all game, and none of them could be hit. They were overthrown. I mean, Bennett couldn't hit a guy down the field. Mathis couldn't hit a guy down the field. But they were there, Dean. They were open, and they were open by a mile down the field.
Well, so it's not.
You've got to execute.
So yeah, it's on Kirby. But this happened, months ago. This loss came months ago. And so this is going to be a subpar team for Georgia while Kirby Smart's there. I don't see them losing another game. But that's me. And they just the other teams that they play are just not,
That's the reason. It's South Carolina, Missouri, and Vanderbilt.
And Mississippi State. But they've built, Florida's not going to lose either. Are they?
No. Until Bama.
Yeah, they'll lose that. I mean, I would imagine they'll lose that game. But they will run up and down the field with Alabama. Because Georgia ran up and down the field with Alabama for a half. But you have to have, I'm sitting here watching Clemson and Notre Dame. I don't know how Notre Dame is winning this game right now.
I can let you know it happened right before we got on, but it was a scoop and score by Notre Dame. Etienne just dropped the ball, and it was a scoop and score. But
you want to talk about it's your year? This is the year for Clemson. If it doesn't happen now, the odds go down further because you're going to lose Trevor. You're going to lose Travis Etienne for sure. He's an explosive playmaker. But, Georgia's got everything around. You hear people talking about the base and the foundation and all this stuff. They got all of that. I'm not talking about injured players.
Yeah.
They didn't play.
You know what? I will say that I thought the defense fought really hard in the second half to keep them in the game, and then Juwan Mathis just kept throwing to Matt Ladders, and then they had no shot.
But he kept trying to hit home runs and score 12
That's not their game.
And score 12 points. You got guys who can explode. And what you do is you get them the ball at 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, not 17, because one is easier to do than the other. And then you let them, quote, make plays. They're playmakers.
How did you feel when they went up 14-0?
I thought Florida was in some serious trouble.
Yeah.
I thought Florida was.
It felt like that too, but it seems like ever since that second touchdown, Rosemy goes down, Bennett gets hit pretty hard in the shoulder, and then things started to kind of unravel from there, and the offense was never the same.
It did get to a point where, you're like, well, how many guys are going to get hurt in this game? I mean, Kendall Milton, Marcus Rosemy, Stetson Bennett.
Tyreek Stevenson went out for a little bit. I don't know if he came back in.
I mean, you're missing Richard. You're missing Jordan. You after a while, George Pickens on this thing. But the teams played. I mean, it's what it is, man. And like either you're going to go out and win, or you're not. And tonight you got to give Florida all due credit. Georgia didn't execute. They knew the quarterback position was limited, and they attacked it. They stacked the line. You're not gonna run the ball. If you want, they didn't stop the run, but if you want to stop the run, you can, because you just stack people in there, and it becomes nearly impossible. So it's something that this season's over. Okay, I don't want to hear the stupidity about these next 4 games, because they don't matter. It can only get worse. The Peach Bowl or Orange Bowl, whichever they'll go to play, that may matter. We'll see. But these next 4 games don't matter. And like for the sanctimonious crowd out there, look, no. I mean,
this is a complete disappointment of a season, and there might be an asterisk to it being 2020 and all that. But
there will be to some degree.
This is the team right now.
No, this is the program, and 2021 might not look a lot different than 2020. We've got to crush COVID. It is out of control right now, and so if we want it to be normal, we've all got to do our part on that front. So it was different here for sure. It felt like there were more Georgia fans. I'm not sure. This field is terrible. They've got to. This stadium does not do a good job. I can't. How many times do I say that? Do I say that all the time?
We've said it every year on the riding homes after this game. The last 3 years, we've said the exact same thing.
It's not an enjoyable event, and there's no food after the games for us. I mean.
Oh, I'd be livid. I'd be livid. I've got tacos right here in front of me.
I mean, it's just, but that gets back to the field, and these guys are slipping around everywhere. I mean, that's no good. That's no good. But for Georgia, moving forward, to me, I think you should probably start Dwan Mathis and see if you can develop him in the pocket. He is like a freak when he's out there running, but. Yeah. The ceiling for Stetson, unfortunately, you have seen the ceiling for Stetson.
He's hit it.
Well, they're not going to stick with this. I mean, what I mean to say is in the future, there is no scenario where they're going to stick with Stetson Bennett. I know Kirby Smart. I know how he is. They're not going to be satisfied with that as the quarterback production. It's just not going to happen. So they're going to need to address the quarterback spot. Does that mean it's Brock? Does that mean it's Carson? Does that mean it's someone else other than those two that you bring in? Because those guys will have never played college football before.
It can't be Brock. I love Brock. It can't be Brock next year.
Why do you say that?
I think there's too much of a learning curve. The play, the competition.
Brock. I thought you said Brock. I thought you meant Carson. It could be Brock, but your first game's Clemson. You
don't want to throw a freshman quarterback out there. I mean, there's a reason they're not playing Carson. Mainly it's because he's a freshman.
Right. It's going to be a different Clemson than we've seen, but they're not going to be bad. I mean, so it's going to be a challenging situation for sure. But they need to move on. I mean, they need to move on, and everybody knows it, and it's okay. I mean, it's just what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. And what I meant by Notre Dame and Clemson's way more talented than Notre Dame, man. I don't want to hear about Trevor not being in there. I mean, you've already given up 23 points coming into the half. I mean, that's all pace to give up 50.
It's 23-13 right now.
Right.
And Clemson's losing a lot. They're going to rebuild, and I like the quarterback they have. He has a lot of developing to do.
He does.
He can't put any touch on the ball. He's a fastball only guy, so he's got to get to work. But
it's
Ohio State's going to bring in a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Alabama might be bringing in a new quarterback.
Probably.
Georgia needs another one.
Yeah.
I don't think he's on the roster right now, but if that's the case, you're going to have a couple guys leave, whether it's Carson and DeJuan or does JT go somewhere else?
JT is clearly the number 3. I mean, there's just no confusion about that right now. And I'm tired of asking the quarterback questions. It's just what it is. And it's not.
We all know it by now.
Yeah, but I mean, what I've said the entire season is what it's been the entire season. And me asking Kirby, or all of us asking Kirby 3 times a week, every time we talk to him, doesn't change it. It's what it is. I mean,
he answered it again
every time
today.
Yeah. I mean, he's right. It's what it is. I mean, let it go. But
it's on him that he's in this position.
Completely.
But
completely.
Maybe hindsight, he probably should have asked Jamie Newman to probably stick around instead of maybe letting him off. But I don't know the inside and out of that situation. But they'd probably be a better team with Jake Fromm or Jamie Newman right now.
Well, they would be a better. I mean, the reason why they've stuck with Stetson so long, I think, is experience. They will be. I mean, just saying that out loud, they're going to go look for a transfer quarterback who started somewhere else. That's what they're going to do. I mean,
hopefully the guy doesn't have a knee issue, and we wonder what's going on.
I don't know that, but I know how these guys are, and they're trying to win, and they're trying to win now.
And in today's college football, quarterbacks are more than willing to go somewhere else if they know they can start, especially at a place like Georgia. We saw they got 2 of them in this offseason.
Yeah, they did.
So,
And that's the they're gonna have. This is not like I agree with him about the sky is not falling. It's not, but it's raining, and you need an umbrella.
Yeah, losing to Florida is never acceptable, especially in this fashion. But this season's over.
I think so.
They did not accomplish their goals again. Number one goal is to win the East and then go from there. They did not win the East.
Well, what do you make of him saying, this is we were 19-1 in our last 20 games coming into this game? He's got a point in the East.
Yeah, but to everyone else, it's a what have you done for me lately? What did you do for me last week? What's the team look like right now? And they haven't looked all that great this year at all. They played two really good teams, and they've kind of got their ass beat by both of them. I know they were leading Bama at the half, but the second half was a complete disaster.
They got to
the
stick
first
with the
half
run more too, man. I mean,
for sure.
I don't care who the quarterback is. I mean, they were running on Florida. I mean, that first play was just like eye-opening. I was like, well, there's the Zamir we've seen before. They got to get the ball to him a little bit more often. They got great running backs, and it's time to see them.
Did anyone ask about George or Kenny McIntosh or Jordan in the press conference about how bad it is and maybe when they can come back?
No, but they'll need those guys in these games. I mean, you play in Missouri on the road, they should win. They'll probably be a 7 or 10 point favorite, something like that. Maybe it'll be more, I don't know. But it's important to win these games. We're saying the season's over, and for all practical purposes, it is. They're not
because of the expectations. Yeah.
Well, they're not going to win the East. I mean, Florida would have to lose to Tennessee and LSU. LSU could match up with them physically, but they're not going to beat them. Tennessee is a disaster, so it's not. I mean, Florida has shown in the past that they do dumb stuff at the end of years sometimes. But this team is a little too good offensively, and they can just score on people, and that's what they'll do.
Georgia should have scored more against Florida tonight.
There's
no doubt about it. They left opportunities on the table, I guess, on the field all game. So they still have a weakness there. They don't look like a top 4 team to me still, and I don't think they're beating Ohio State, Clemson. Well, I say that.
Who are you talking about?
Florida.
They're probably a top 5 team, but I don't know if they're the difference between Georgia and everybody right now is the quarterback. The difference between Florida and everybody right now is probably their defense is not great, but they can score with those teams. Clemson's kind of goofing around. Did they make this field goal? Can you tell me? Is it 26-13, or did he miss this? As a long-looking field goal.
He's about to make the kick. I'm a little behind. I've got to update on my
same here. But
TV stuff.
it's Alabama is the best team in the country. Okay, it's not. I'm not going to say it's not close, but they're the best team. Ohio State is the second best team. I find it hard to believe that Notre Dame is the third best team. But if they beat Clemson, I don't want to hear about Trevor not being in there because they're putting it on their defense too.
But Clemson's still in if they run out.
Clemson can't run the ball against Notre Dame, so that's a problem. He's trying a 57.
This
guy's about to start.
Is bad.
This guy's about to try a 57-yarder.
It's about to go right now, unless they take a timeout. All right, the kick is up, and he got it, Dean.
Nope.
Oh no, it's short.
Now here comes the return.
Clemson's interior offensive line is not great at all. He's not going to return this all the way.
No, they're not. All these teams have issues, I think, except Alabama.
They look like the most complete team.
Yeah, I think people need to prepare themselves for Alabama probably winning the national championship this year. And if not them, Ohio State. Clemson is not. Clemson and Notre Dame.
Who did the Buckeyes play today?
They don't. The Big Ten is bad.
Oh, they're so bad.
Penn State's 0-3. I mean, you lose to Maryland? Come on, man.
Yeah. And Michigan loses.
It's just not a good league. It's just not a good league. Yeah. This is a pretty good league, but at the top.
I mean, they were hitting today. It is clear.
I wrote the whole week. The whole week I wrote, this is a good Florida team. We saw that. Okay, it's a good Florida team. It's just all there is to it. All right, that's all.
I thought Georgia's defense played hard. Lewis Cine popped Kyle Pitts. I mean,
it was targeting, but I do not think it was malicious. I have to tell you.
No, well, the Florida fans did. I saw all that on Twitter.
That's what fans do, but it was not malicious. I hope Kyle is okay, and I hope all these guys. I mean, there's a lot of injuries out there today.
Yeah. Too many.
All of these, both these teams. All right, Dean Legge, Matt DeBary. We'll see you on the website. Thanks for watching another edition of Riding Home.